Hey guys, how is everybody? Well, I hope as always. So guys, I've actually got two questions for you tonight. Now, the first question is, do you believe in the internet? What do you actually think that the internet can do to change your life? Like, is it something that you think has opportunity and possibility? What are your thoughts on this? The second question is, if your answer is yes, Dan, I believe in the internet does have opportunity and possibility and the potential to change my life. If the answer to that question was yes, the second question that I want you to ask yourself, and put in the comments around this video as well, guys, is what I am doing currently in my capacity, in all of my capacity with the internet, is it having a lasting and positive impact on my life right now? That's a big question to ask yourself. Because if you believe that the internet does have the capability to positively impact your life, but you're not taking actions, or even worse, you are taking actions but not getting the result that you excuse me, that you seek through these actions, then there's something majorly wrong there. Now, guys, let me tell you my take on the internet, right? I'm old enough to have been around pre-internet, before the internet existed, unfortunately. So I understand how business used to be, and I understand how business currently is, the current landscape of the online world of business. The internet to me is a marvel, right? Put it this way, if a single book over there on my bookshelf can have such an insightful impact on an individual that it literally changes the course of their entire life, then what does all of humankind's knowledge dating back to the initial stage where we started to take records, and even before wrote hieroglyphs, what can that sort of knowledge offer you? Isn't it crazy that right through this device that I'm recording out of, or these devices over here on my desk, I literally have access to all of the knowledge of humankind. Not all, right? Of course, there's some hidden things out there, government knowledge and other things like that, but a lot more than you can find in a single book. What sort of impact could that knowledge like that have on your life? Of course, not all this knowledge is free, and rightly so it shouldn't be. Not all this knowledge should be free. Because when things are free, they're devalued. And when something's powerful and impactful, you should need to pay a price to obtain those things. Let me tell you why. I have given my publishing program, away for free before. Actually, a few times. In every single time this happened, the people were so grateful, over the moon. Thank you so much, Dan. You're going to change my life. And not one of them put any value onto that program in the long run. Not one of them actually even finished the training. So, not all knowledge should be free. If knowledge has value, it should be paid for. There should be a price for that knowledge. Therefore, you will actually put value on that knowledge, and you will use it to impact your life. I think the internet is just a marvel, right? It's one of these things that just really changes the whole course of humanity. Think about it, right? I can be sitting here in my office in my pajamas, it's late afternoon. I've already taken a shower and I'm just sitting here sharing my thoughts with you. And there's a big possibility that these thoughts that I'm having, that I decided to share to the world on the internet might have some insightful and impactful, positive, sway on somebody's mood, direction in life, business choices. Don't know. Could be all three of those things, or more, or less. But there is a possibility that my evening thoughts, this is just astonishing. My evening thoughts, sitting here thinking about innovation and business and internet, and the positive and negative impacts on humanity. Do they outweigh each other? Do they like cancel each other out? Are the positives more, are they acceptable compared to the negatives that have come around? Just these thoughts that I'm just sitting here thinking, and decided, what, I'm going to switch on my phone, I'm going to share some of these thoughts. So guys, getting back to the questions. Do you believe in the internet? Do you believe that all the world's knowledge could have impactful and positive sway on your life? Do you believe that? And if you do believe that, what you're doing right now with the internet, if you're taking action and it's not getting you a result, guys, if it's getting you a result, wow, power to you, right? And don't change what you're doing. I teach this in my program. If the data says you're getting results, keep doing more of it, keep improving on it, make incremental improvements on whatever strategy that you're running, because it's working, right? And the only way to really capitalize on something that's working is make incremental improvements. Think like a scientist. Use first principles thoughts. If you don't know what first principles thoughts are, check out my other video on YouTube and you'll find out. It's a very, very powerful way to think, and it was actually developed by physicists. So it's a way to figure out things that are extremely difficult to figure out, like quantum physics, for example. Something as crazy as quantum physics, for crying out loud. If you can use that sort of thought process to figure out quantum physics, then you can use it for anything in your life. So it's a very powerful way to think. It's very draining mentally, I guess. So you wouldn't think about everything like that, but if you're going to make big decisions, business decisions, decisions on what knowledge you're actually going to listen to, what knowledge you're going to implement, what knowledge you're going to take on board, when you have the whole world's knowledge at your fingertips over there on that computer or on this phone right here that I'm recording on, it becomes a conundrum. What knowledge do you actually listen to, right? There's always a downside, but guys, come on, like the internet it's a marvel. It truly is. So I'll get to the point. The real question is, if you do believe in the internet and you are taking actions, what are your results? What results are you getting? Are they good? If they're good, they don't need to be great, but if they're good, that means there's proof of concept. And all you need to do is make incremental improvements. If you're not getting the results that you're shooting for, right? What are your goals? If your results are not in line with your goals and you've already made incremental improvements, then you have the whole world's knowledge at your fingertips. Wouldn't it be actually quite insane to continue down the path that you're on when you've already made incremental improvements and you're still not in congruency with your goals, your results? It's quite crazy, I would say, to be honest, because I've been in that situation where I've just been so hard-nosed, because you hear it a lot. You hear people sprouting on the internet about consistency, just don't give up, never give up. And to a certain degree, that's true. But if you've gotten to a point where you've already gone, okay, there's proof of concept here, incremental improvements, and you've done this for at least 12 months, right? If you haven't done it for 12 months yet, keep going. And you're still not in congruency with your goals, your results aren't showing up for you, then it's time to pivot. Now, I don't mean like completely backflip and jump to a whole new venture, that's almost just as crazy, right? You've just spent this whole year learning something about a particular industry. You know the ins and outs, the nuts, the bolts. It's not time to do a total backflip, not at all. All you're doing is just pivoting, right? So for example, if you're running low and no content books, you've been doing so for the past year, you've taken a couple courses, you feel like you know a hell of a lot about the industry, you're pumping out high quality books, and when you've run into roadblocks, you might have taken a new course and learned something new, and you've made incremental improvements, but yet your results are not in congruency with your goals. Well, that would be a perfect time to make a pivot in your business. I wouldn't jump all the way out of publishing, right? To me, that's insane. You've just spent an entire year learning this stuff, but you might take another road, right? You might use a different product. For example, public domain, right? Or ghostwriting, or whatever it may be. You might decide to write your own book and traditionally launch it. But what I'm saying is stay in the book space. Just make sure you make those pivots to ensure that you're not actually wasting your life. It's a very fine line between staying consistent and staying stupidly consistent, right? So I couldn't think of a better word than that, because it truly is. It's a very bad move to stay consistent after you've already gone through all of those hurdles. You have to make pivots. You need to create innovations, and you need to try different paths along the same journey. That the path may lead to the same place, but you might need to take a different route, if you know what I mean, right? If you're using Google Maps and you're driving around and you know a more direct route, but Google's taking you all the way around here, no, you're going to take the direct route and you'll let Google re-navigate, right? It's the same concept. Anyway, guys, these are my evening thoughts. So I just wanted to jump on here and I wanted to ask you those two questions, right? And put your answers in the comments. Do you believe in the internet? Do you believe that the internet and all the entire world's knowledge since we started recording these things has the ability to change your life if you use it correctly? And if you do believe this, what you're actually doing right now with the internet, is it in congruency with your goals? Are your results showing incongruent with your goals? I'm very interested to know, guys, because, you know, I've been along this path and many things I tried were not incongruent with my goals, and a lot of the times I actually didn't pivot and I stuck with them too long. As you know, I've been an entrepreneur for 25 years and I made a lot of mistakes along the way, so it's great to be able to have the internet and share my knowledge with you guys, and actually maybe, just maybe, I might have a positive impact on your journey and you won't need to make the same mistakes as I. Alright guys, well, I'm just going to switch off for the night now, try to turn off this brain that never stops, and maybe watch the old idiot box. That's what we call the TV in Australia, the idiot box, you know. But anyway, hope you all have a great evening, and put down in the comments, guys, so we can start a conversation about this. It's something I'm very, very intrigued about. I'll talk to you all soon.